He's the toast of the town, lightly buttered. He's the non-fattening sugar substitute in your tea. He's a bon vivant, a gaucho amigo, a Goomba, a Mensch, and the fifth musketeer. He's the apple of your eye, and aren't you glad he's here? Direct from a wax and shine at the car wash around the corner, it's the man of the hour, over at least a good 30 minutes, Max Headroom.
Here on the Max Headroom Show, I'll be having a head-to-head, shoulder-to-shoulder,
Eyeball to eyeball.
mascara to mascara to mascara to mascara to mascara confrontation with Boy George. Could be messy. I don't know who's more nervous. Boy, or George.
Well, I haven't had any yet.
Understand the way
has it said that observing the United States is like watching an epic movie?
Oscar Wilde?
Woody Allen?
Max Headroom.
Just think, they've got an actor for a president, economic advisors called projectionists. Even their latest defense strategy is named after a film, Star Wars. And why pick on that one? Why not something gentler like Kramer versus Kramer? And of course, everywhere in the world to them is just a theater of operations, except when they're fighting in it. And then it's a theater of war.
In 1965, Vietnam seemed like just another foreign war. But it wasn't. It was different in many ways, and so were those who did the fighting. In World War II, the average age of the combat soldier was 26. In Vietnam, he was 19. 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 19.
The heaviest fighting of the past 2 weeks continued today, 25 miles northwest of Saigon.
I wasn't really sure what was going on.
19. In Vietnam, the combat soldier typically served a 12-month tour of duty, but was exposed to hostile fire almost every day. 19.
In Saigon, a U.S. military spokesman said today more than 700 enemy troops were killed last week in that sensitive border area. Throughout all of South Vietnam, the enemy lost a total of 2,689 soldiers.
According to a Veterans Administration study, half of the Vietnam combat veterans suffer from what psychiatrists call post-traumatic stress disorder. Many vets complain of alienation, rage, or guilt. Some succumb to suicidal thoughts. 8 to 10 years after coming home, almost 800,000 men are still fighting the Vietnam War. Vietnam.
Saigon.
Vietnam.
Saigon.
Vietnam.
Saigon.
Vietnam.
Saigon.
Purple Heart.
Saigon.
Purple Heart.
Saigon.
I wasn't really sure what was going on.
You know, I was singing that tune just the other day, and I got a kind of ringing in my ears, and suddenly I couldn't hear a thing. And I thought, if Beethoven was deaf as a post, how did he know what he was playing? For example, if his piano was out of tune when he played da-da-da-dum, what was the tune he was actually playing in his head?
I got
Okay, welcome to what we call in the biz an in-depth interview. So let's not be formal. I'm going to call you George. Okay, and you can call me Mr. Headroom. Great, no problems there. Are we happy?
I'm delirious.
Attaboy.
Ecstatic.
No, actually, George, I don't want to be unfair. I'm just lovable old Mac to everyone else. So what makes you different from others?
Well, I don't think I'm really different. You know, I consider myself to be perfectly sane. I think that's the thing about me that most people find surprising. I mean, apart from my modesty, of course, the fact that I'm just so down to earth. No, I just consider myself to be like a really basic person.
Now I hear rumors. They all reach my ears in the end. That you've been in and out of an insane asylum.
Asylum.
Studios in Switzerland.
You're not talking to a mirror, are you?
Why Switzerland, big fella?
Well, we're recording this album. We've got yet to finish it. We've got about another 8 tracks to do. And then it comes out next February. I mean, it's a long time. We haven't had a record out for a year.
We love and we never tell what places our hearts in the wishing well. Love leads us into the stream, and it's sink or swim like it's always been. And I keep on loving you. It's the only thing to do. When the angel sings, there are greater things. Can I give them all to you? Oh.
Now this could be tough for you because I'd like to get right down to that old nitty-gritty, the bottom line, as they say, and ask you this question. What do you think of golf?
I got better things to do with my balls.
Victims we know so well, they shine in your eyes when they kiss and tell. Strange faces we never see, but you're always there, like a ghost in my dream. And I keep on telling you, please don't do the things you do. When you do those things, pull my puppet strings, and the strangest falling for you. Show my heart some devotion. Push aside those that whisper never. Feel like a child on a dark night, wishing we could spend it together. I could be warm with you smiling. Hold out your hand for a while. The victims, we know them so well, so well.
Now, what's this about you writing a book, huh? I ask that because I've only just completed my book, Max Headroom's Guide to Life, which is full of advice for ordinary people like yourself. Like yourself. Now, what's yours about? Is it the true pull no punches, get it off your chest, lay it on the line, inside story of Boy George, or is it just an autobiography?
My book's about my life, and just other things like sex, politics, drug taking.
Ballsy book.
You should read it. He has a lot of advice for abnormal people. You'd enjoy it.
Boy, coming from you, I'll take that as the compliment I'm
Oh, it's
sure
definitely a
it was meant to
compliment.
be.
It's definitely a compliment.
I look forward to reading it. And if you need any advice, and who doesn't? I don't. Read mine. So, music, books. Well, what else? Do you see yourself as an all-round media person, like...
Myself?
I'm going to be doing a little bit of acting. I'm doing the A-team instead.
That's right. A Renaissance man, able to bounce back and forth. That's good. Well, I won't go back to golf. Euros.
The dogs.
I didn't say that. You're jumping to conclusions and you're getting a little bit on the defensive now. Now, what are your feelings for minorities?
No, I think, you know, I'm in a minority myself anyway, so obviously you have to sympathise with minorities. Although a lot of minorities are very prejudiced, actually, you find. Like, a lot of black people don't like Jews, a lot of Jews don't like Indians, which is weird because I think actually minorities are the most prejudiced.
Like I said, a risque guy. I love it.
I'm on this show talking to you, so I must be into minorities.
Ah, I love the way you put all the stops and you just let those lips go right out of control.
I know, I'm so mouthy.
Love it. Let's move on to a really interesting area. Can I ask you what happened at that Athens concert? The paper said you were booed, and you actually had things thrown at you.
Stoned.
You were stoned.
I'm the urban spaceman, baby. I've got speed. I've got everything I need. I'm the urban spaceman, baby. I can fly. I'm a supersonic guy.
George, for God's sake, stop beating yourself senseless with that powder puff. I know how easily you bruise.
I don't need pleasure. I don't feel pain. If you were to knock me down, I'd just get up again. I'm the urban spaceman, baby. I'm making out. I'm all about. I wake up every morning with a smile upon my face. My natural exuberance spills out all over the place.
Now let's talk about your career. Your career.
Your career.
How long do you want to stay in the biz? Our biz.
I want to stay in the business as long as it's exciting, you know.
A good 4 or 5 minutes.
No, about, say, another 10 years. I'd like to do other things, you know. I want to write, I want to do films, and I want to do everything, really.
Ah, a Renaissance man. Well, we're both busy people, so we'd better round off right now.
Round off right now.
George, genuinely, it's been a rare and wonderful pleasure talking to you, and I hope we do it again soon. And meanwhile, as a little memento of our, in quotation marks, chat, I'd like to give you a present.
A present.
A present. No. You lead an exciting life. You meet a lot of famous people. So I've got the perfect thing for you. Yes, it's an autograph book. And if you'd like to glance at the first page, you'll see I've started your collection.
Oh, your autograph, how sweet,
Oh,
modest, charming.
don't thank me.
Oh, you're so
Don't
sweet.
thank me.
So I'm not,
Don't thank me.
I'm not into corporal
Don't
punishment.
thank me. I said don't thank me. He's thanking me. Get rid of him, for God's sake. Hey, Chess, slow down. Chess. Not yet. No. It's been a great show. We're sorry that it's through. Goodbye is such a sad word. So let's just say adieu. I knew that you'd all love me from the very start, 'cause I love myself from the bottom of my liver spleen, heart. I know I'm impossible, I have my ups and downs. Forgive me, of course you will, I'm so good to have around. True genius must have its flaw. You see, I'm rambustuous, I'm devil-may-care, I'm just a swagger, swagger. It's been a great show. And one thing more, now it's time for me to go. I just want to say, it's been a great, I love you all, I really do. Great, good night, God bless, have a safe journey. Show.